Hello, and thank you for joining our webcast today. My name is Chris Wagoner, and I have the honor to lead the Military Veterans Employee Resource Group for Enterprise Operations. And for any of you who don't know exactly what that is, I'll take this opportunity to make a shameless plug. We try to create a community here at Lockheed Martin focused specifically on leadership engagement and also community outreach. So today I have with me someone who really embodies both of those imperatives, and this is Chief Warrant Officer Romulo Camargo. And Romy is just going to tell us his story today about his time and service in the military, as well as his new mission out of Tampa, Florida. So I won't steal any of your thunder, and I'll turn it over to you, and look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Thank you for the opportunity to come here to Lockheed Martin, speak about my experiences. I came into the Army in April 1995, but was fortunate enough to come into the Army with a Ranger contract. So once I graduated basic training, AIT, Airborne School, and the Ranger Indoctrination Program, I was stationed at 1st Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, stationed on Hunter Army Airfield, Savannah, Georgia, the best battalion in the regiment. Being a Ranger in battalion was awesome. I spent 4.5 years in 1st Battalion, and I could have not had a better time. E1 to E5, my last position was Commo Chief at Bravo Company, which jump-started the rest of my career. I then attended a Special Forces selection, where I was selected to become a Special Forces Communication Sergeant. Once I finished the qualification course, I was stationed in Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 7th Special Forces Group, where I spent the next 8 years traveling and conducting missions all over Central and South America and Afghanistan, coming through the ranks from E5 to E7 to Chief Warrant Officer 2. On September 16th, 2008, during my third tour, my 65-man task force and I were ambushed. During the mission in Afghanistan, I was shot and paralyzed. My life has changed in so many ways. I'm so much stronger and a better man. I'm closer to my family, and I'm closer to friends and our Lord. I have been able to see my children grow up, which has been a blessing. I've been able to be by my wife Gabby's side every day, which is something that I missed when I was deployed. She is the inspiration and strength that keeps me strong and motivates me and makes this a lot easier. I was an inpatient at the VA for 18 months. During my stay at the VA, I had learned everything that I could about my injury. I even did research about stem cells in Europe. But I petitioned Surgeon General of the Army to have the olfactory mucosa stem cell research surgery in Lisbon, Portugal. I was granted permission, but I became the first active duty service member to go overseas and have this type of surgery outside of the United States. This was a breakthrough. It changed DoD policy in which now active duty soldiers can fill out applications and be able to receive treatments outside the U.S. When I arrived, I knew I had to conduct intense activity-based exercise in order to jumpstart these new stem cells that were grafted onto the injured portion of my spinal cord. As I began to research centers that provided this type of therapy, I was disappointed because nowhere in the city of Tampa was there a center that provided the advanced activity-based exercise. I continued to research while doing what I could at the VA. I then found a center in Orlando that provided the therapy. So for 2.5 years, I traveled back to Orlando, back and forth, twice a week. Sometimes the trip would take 3 hours there and 3 hours back. Let me get some water. This became a catalyst for my wife to brainstorm with me what we needed to do. Driven by focus on recovery and the knowledge that most spinal cord injury and disabled personnel did not have rehabilitation options in the immediate Tampa Bay area. My wife and I decided to form the Romy and Gabby SCI Foundation and created the Stay in Step Spinal Cord Injury Recovery Center. We have combined civilian and veteran communities with disabilities that cause paralysis and the people that care for them through a combination of physical therapy, close-knit support groups, and mental strength training. Our rehabilitation program is the activity-based exercise and therapy using the body's natural weight and movement of the body. And our members work out exercise one-on-one with their trainer. Our trainer's goals are to help our members take a step forward towards recovery. Contrary to traditional therapy, our exercise programs offer long-term solutions to rehabilitation. At Stay in Step Spinal Cord Injury Recovery Center, Gabby and I have worked hard over the past 3 years to have our center recognized by the VA, TRICARE, Medicare, Blue Cross, the Blue Shield, and other insurance companies. We are also supported by corporations like Toyota, who believe in what we do, which is helping the disabled population due to paralysis. We have broken the stigma of our veterans having to wait for appointments to conduct therapy. We are providers for the VA, for the new VA Choice Program, a program created by the Veterans Affairs Administration to allow veterans to receive referral to be able to receive treatment outside the VA. Once we receive the referral, we immediately call the veteran. But on the next day or two, they come to Stay in Step for an evaluation. Then they'll be on the schedule the following week. This means they do not have to wait for therapy, which I believe is a win-win within the Veterans Affairs Administration. We also have civilian clients that come to our center to receive therapy. Since we are a nonprofit center, we supplement those client hours through our supplemental program, which is funded by donations. Currently, since we opened in June 20th, 2015, we have supplemented approximately $265,000 of supplemented hours to our clients. And daily, that number goes up. Currently, we have 26 to 28 clients with disabilities that range from stroke to severe TBI and any other neurological disorder that causes paralysis. Several of our clients are combat wounded. I had the pleasure of serving with one of them for 5 years in the 7th Special Forces Group. I have seen the progress that my clients have achieved. I would like to invite every one of you here to come to Stay in Step and see the great things that we are doing. Our next challenge is to build a new pilot center with an underwater treadmill, basketball court, cafeteria, kids room, family room, and more. A center that is not just offering physical rehabilitation, but most important, healing the mind and soul. As a career soldier, I put my life on the line and paid the price for what we have today. I still believe that it's my mission to continue to serving my country, even under these circumstances in my life. I'm fighting a new battle, which is opening the doors for those who do not have the visibility like me to bring them hope and share with them the never give up attitude. It is my desire that these initiatives can be emulated more by wounded warriors around the country to also break the stigma of 22 suicides a day. Sometimes we don't know why things happen, but what I do know is no matter what your circumstances are, always stay focused, strong, motivated, committed to all of your goals, and look for ways to give back. Follow one direction, work on it every day, and with faith and honor, you will achieve anything, even the things they say are impossible. As it says in 2 Corinthians 2:14, I thank God who always leads us into victory because of Christ. Wherever we go, God uses to make clear what it means to know Christ. It's like a fragrance that fills the air. Thank you for having me and Troy here today. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story. God bless you all. And God bless America.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you taking the time to come out and speak with us today. So I want to take a few minutes and see if we have any questions from the audience. So we've got a couple on the webcast, but I thought I'd open it up to the audience in the room here and see if anyone would like to ask Romy, or Troy is actually their Chief Operations Manager. Yeah, so just in case. Any questions? Lisa? We wait for the mic.
Yes, sir. Well, it's great to see you again, and thank you for joining us. So I just wanted to ask you both, what do you both miss about the military life?
It's funny because, you know, I travel to Eglin Air Force Base where my teammates are, but I still have teammates that are serving all over the country and doing great stuff, taking it to the enemy, and to this day I miss it. I mean, it's been nine years, and I miss it. I miss hanging out with my team, with a bunch of guys, with the never quit attitude, and we always wanted to, you know, affect our area, taking it to the enemy, just doing the things that I did every day. I tell my wife, you know, I was having a great time, you know, and I knew that something like this could happen, and I'm just glad it happened with the guys that were with me and been doing what I loved, what I was doing, and I miss it. It's been 9 years.
Finding Stay in Step for me has been a true blessing. I got out of the military in 2012, toured around in the civilian sector for a little bit after I got out of the military, and what I missed the most, to answer your question, was the camaraderie, the direct communication, clear expectations. With companies like Lockheed Martin that are supportive of our veterans and that emulate those values of transparency and, you know, camaraderie, bringing you all together. It just comes through in the way you communicate, the way you've all been receptive to us, and how we've just felt like home from the time that we've came in. So I want to thank you, Chris, for that, because I've never felt, I've missed that for the 5 years. I've missed that brotherhood. I have brothers from Alaska, I have brothers from Minnesota, I have brothers from Puerto Rico. And it's just the bonds that we shared and we formed through just being broke together, doing dumb things together, getting in trouble together. And not that I got in trouble a lot, but it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. And to learn servant leadership, to learn the fact that your job is a part of a bigger mission. You're a cog in a larger wheel, and that through service, that's how we affect greater change. And I just miss that, because you always knew that no matter what, no matter the drudgery, no matter, you know, getting up at 0, dark 30, it still was affecting positive change, and you felt like you belonged. So that's what I missed, and that's what Romy has been fortunate enough to give me when I joined Stay in Step, because I see that our mission it's larger than me, and I'm affecting a greater change for a niche population, a group of those that are marginalized, that need the services that we provide. And it's just truly been a blessing, and I get up every day, you know, super motivated, because before I was coming off of not working, and he took a chance on me, and I'll be forever grateful for that opportunity.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I wanted to ask, what can we as a community, Lockheed Martin, do to help support your mission that you have, Stand in Step?
You know, we're like I said, we're a nonprofit, and the donations always help. But I'd like to invite you guys to come to Stay in Step, so you can exactly see what we have going on. And when my wife told me what she wanted to do, we were probably 6 months into driving back and forth on Tuesdays and Thursdays to Orlando, and she's like, you know what are you gonna do when you retire? Definitely not gonna come here and be sitting on the couch depressed and doing something. So she's like, we need to open up a center here in Tampa. There's a big void. There's not a center that provides activity-based exercise in Tampa. You have nowhere to go But if you have nowhere to go, there's other people that don't have anywhere to go. You know, you and your brother, you know, your brothers, you know, at the VA, all we need is a small room, you know, a physical therapist, you and your buddy working out, that's it. And fortunate, you know, we've been blessed, and we announced it to Tampa that we're gonna open up a rehab center after I told my wife she was kind of crazy. And our chairman, he came to the house and said, all right, what do you guys want? My wife told her vision, and I told him what I thought it was going to be like. Then he says, what do we need to raise? And I was like, threw out a number, $750,000. And so we started fundraising January 1st, 2014. 18 months we were able to raise the money. Toyota came in, helped us out a little bit, and June 20th, 2015, we opened up a 4,500 square foot center with a family room, kids room, you know, office manager, you know, and we started off with 5 people, couple clients. 2.5 years later, you know, we 10 people strong, physical therapist, assistant, insurance providers, the VA collaboration, and it's been growing, and you know, it's just absolutely amazing. I feel great waking up every day and going into the center and just being there. But it's all about the client, you know, and that's something Gabby and I, we try to pass on to our staff, you know. Come in, say hi to our clients, you know. Do whatever you can to put a smile on somebody's face, because, you know, this isn't just a personal injury, this is a family injury, so it's real hard for somebody that doesn't have the visibility. And I told Gabby, and you know, she always agrees with me that, you know, we need to supplement their financials, because, you know, even with the supplemental plan, you know, $740, that's another mortgage. And you know, our veterans that receive referrals, you know, the VA covers that, but you know, a civilian with a severe TBI or a high spinal cord injury, quadriplegic, it takes a lot. So we make sure that we give back and supplement those hours. And that's why I never wanted a for-profit side. I just stayed with the nonprofit side, and makes me sleep a lot better.
Any other questions from the audience? Karen.
The question I have for you, Romy, is what about you that keeps you going in spite of? What keeps you from giving up?
You know, my dad told me if I ever quit once, that I would make it a habit. And then just going in the military, the 2 units that I was involved with, I mean, we had a never quit attitude, and my teammates were vicious. We all wanted to run to that front door and be the number 1 man. You know, we always wanted to kick that door in, be the first one through the breach. Right now I'm like, you guys are crazy. But I never, you know, I always tell my wife, you know, why, you know, I've been depressed twice since, you know, since this happened, you know, that really hit me for, you know, a good couple hours. And when I came home, you know, I spent 18 months at the VA. You get institutionalized in there, you know, because everything's done for you. Then I came home, I had a nurse with me, you know, 12 hours a day, and I just, boom, it hit me, you know. And then, you know, I told my wife that I can't be, you know, this can't be me, you know. I got to do what I got to do. I got to go to my appointments, no matter what time it is. I got to go to my therapy sessions, no matter what time it is. You know, I got to do the things that I need to do that one day I might, you know, that I might recover. And I always try to keep that positive attitude. And Gabby always made sure that in my room, in the VA or at Walter Reed, when I was in the most critical moments, that there was a positive sight, you know. Nobody come in my room if they were crying. So I think that all that positive aura that I had in my initial injury, I think that just carried on through the rest of my life for the last 9 years. And, you know, just being positive all the time. And, you know, trying to be like I always been, you know, just a people person. Somebody that, you know, got up in the morning and ran, just like everybody around me on the teams, and, you know, and just have a good time, I guess.
You know, I want to touch on something that Boss said when in response to your question of, you know, how can you be a benefit to us here at Stay in Step. I was raised in the church, you know, and I fought it so much. You know, my mom, Sunday school teacher, why are we here so often? Why are you putting me in these private schools? Like, they don't even have girls that go to the school. Why are you sending me here? But your question brought a parable that was kind of drilled in my head in terms of you feed a man once and, you know, he can eat for that day, but you teach a man to fish and he can, you know, feed himself for the rest of their life. So I don't want it to seem that it's you know, there's always a terribleness that's going on. So this isn't something where it's like, hey, we need the money for this. That's why we invite the partnership. We invite you to come out and see what it is that we do, because we can talk about Stay in Step. We can talk about getting Boss up and putting him on a total gym and watching him do squats and watching him do leg day or watching him walk or watching him do an arm bike. And, you know, you can envision it, but once you see it, it's just a whole nother animal. So that's why we really appreciate you bringing us out, because it's partnerships like these, it's communication, it's talking, it's even if nothing comes from it from the support side, it's maybe you have a cousin or an uncle or a nephew or someone who has a neurological disorder. Maybe you have someone who slipped and fell and they have a traumatic brain injury, or you have someone who's just giving up, because in the 4 months since I've been with this company, I've been able to see a lot of amazing things. And for me, I was brought in for the ability to kind of help navigate the growth from a business side. So he talked about his wife, Gabby. She's very strong in her personality, and she's teaching me that whole, I call it faith accounting, because what we do essentially from a business model is the busier we are, the more that we support and the more that we take on, it's just an expense and an expense and an expense, because essentially we understand that our clients do not have the monetary or the ability to support and to pay for the services, the world-class services that we provide. I mean, just in the past 2 months, we've personally invested over $10,000 in education to send all of our trainers and our staff to different conferences, to different higher-level trainings in Denver, in Baltimore. So we believe in the mission, and we believe in what we do, and we also believe in the fact that we don't know how it's going to work, but we know that it is going to work. And so that's why we love having this opportunity to have this visibility, because we need those partnerships. We need the ability to bring a crew from Lockheed out to see kind of what it is that we do, and then we go from there. So to answer your question, and I appreciate it, it's one of the things to where there can never be enough people that know about what it is that we do, because we're not selling anything. We're just showing that we are a solution for a very, very blaring need in a very niche community.
And that's why I brought Troy on board.
I can see it. Very effective.
Yeah, a lot better language than mine.
Any other questions here in the room?
Anything.
Do you guys plan to expand Stay in Step to any other cities or states?
Well, right now we want to, you know, we want to focus on Tampa. I mean, it's a big hub here in Tampa, and the community, the neurological community, spinal cord injury community is real big, and the needs here. I want to expand into a bigger center. Right now, we're running out of room.
They have me in a closet.
We have him in a storage closet, and you know, there's certain pieces of equipment that we'd like to get in, but if I would, you know, we want to stay in Tampa right now. But in the future, yeah, we're thinking about it. But right now, it's you know, we have 2 years left on our lease, and we'd like to move in to a bigger center to put in the underwater treadmill, which will help with a lot of our clients, just because of, you know, neurological disorder. You may have you know, we have a couple nonverbal clients that have severe TBI, don't speak, but you can get them in the underwater treadmill and have them exercise, moving their legs, you know, moving their arms, having them upright. Then it's just the interaction between our clients and my 2 trainers that I have working with the nonverbals. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing the way they talk to the client and the way the client responds to them. And then, you know, local mat, just because it's top of the line robotics right now for gait training. Miami project, you know, uses one. The VA has 2. Probably try to get one of those, see how that goes. But that's what we want to do, and you know, we're working towards it. You know, $1, $5, $10, an office building, a building itself. There's a lot of territory out there that, you know, somebody could give it up. They could. I'm not saying it won't happen. I mean, it's could.
Absolutely. Michelle?
Don't
Hi.
cry.
Oh, I won't. So I just want to say thank you as a vet. And also, I do have a nephew that has traumatic brain injury and a cousin who has transverse myelitis. She is paralyzed from the waist down. So I appreciate all your work you do. And I admire you and you, Troy, for everything y'all do. It's amazing. As far as the civilian and the military ratio, what is the percentage for each at your area?
So right now we have about 28 clients coming in, and we have about 8 that are military, and 6 of those are through the VA Choice program. And I believe we just got a referral in for another gentleman, and you know, we're calling him right now so he can come in and they conduct therapy. And then the other population is civilian clients that come in and whatnot. And it's come in, you know, talk to the office manager. We will fill out some paperwork, and you know, supplemental program kicks in right then and there, because that's what, you know, because there's 4 other centers in the United States. I mean, in the state of Florida, and we're not competition. And we do keep our rates a little lower than they do, but our supplemental fund is what really makes us the game changer here in Tampa.
For full transparency, the reason why we are our differentiation from other activity-based therapy centers. So when you think about activity-based therapy centers, just know that what we do is kind of like, it's considered from a medicine perspective, pseudoscience. Well, you know, he's in a chair, he's never going to get better. Why am I throwing money at him? So the reason why he's employed who he's employed with, we have a doctor, we have a medical advisor, we have a doctor of physical therapy, we have physical therapist assistants. These all have price tags for the education, essentially. But he has those, so we can accept certain insurance, so we can accept VA Choice, so we can accept veterans to come through and to not have a wait and to not have to just sit there. Because essentially, when you're in a chair, when this is your reality, it's like the old adage, if you don't use it, you lose it. A day for him in this chair, or if he's just sitting there sedentary, reduced blood flow, osteoporosis, bed sores, pressure sores, all these things can come up. So there it's, you know, motion, motion, motion. So we believe in getting everyone up. Everyone's walking, everyone's active. It's very strenuous and rigorous on the guys that are actually doing, and the women who are doing the actual work. But the thing about it is we believe in and that. We believe in the healing. We believe in the psychosomatic even. We believe in the fact that if we can nurture and create an environment where we feed into your spirit, we feed into your mind, we sit down with the family. Our office manager, her son has a traumatic brain injury and he's paralyzed. So we have it from all different scopes, you know, because if boss can come in and he's like, hey, how you doing? And he's smiling and, you know, this is his motion, you know, what do you have to complain about because, you know, you had a bad day, you know? And that's the way he leads us. He leads us by example. Because essentially, if you come in and you say, man, it sucks, I'm in this chair. Yeah, but you know, you can still use your hands. You can still, you know, so we focus on everything that they can do. We don't let them come in, and we don't even call them patients. They're our clients. We're blessed to work with them and for them. So it's one of the things that we implement when they come in. You might have some challenges, but you're not disabled. We focus on what you can do, not what you can't do, and it's about getting you better. So it's different in terms of what we do, because a lot of other centers, they just have aides or trainers. They don't invest the monetary amount into their staff because they don't need to. And essentially, then they're gyms. We are essentially a physical therapy center, a clinic. I mean, it's all in one.
What other questions are out there?
Besides Toyota, are there any other Tampa Lakeland corporations that have provided assistance to your stay in step?
Oh yeah, Arma Global, which is a General Dynamics company. We partnered with them before they were bought out by General Dynamics, and it was the Todd Schweitzer and the other VP, I forget his name, but him and I served together when I was a private in Ranger Battalion, and you know, I'm just fortunate to know, you know, good people, and they put on a dinner for us every SOFIC, the Special Operations Forces Industrial Conference. It's on Tuesday, so it's like the week of May 16th through the 20th, and they hold an annual lunch dinner for us there, and it's Arma Global. And then General Dynamics, the GDIT, they always support all our events as well. And talking about events, we had our second annual anniversary celebration this past September 30th. There was a flamenco theme, so now September 29th, 2018, we're gonna have a carnival theme, so I invite all you guys to come. It's all gonna be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I do all that, so go ahead and like my page and
Absolutely.
at Stay in Step 15 for Instagram. Facebook is Stay in Step Spinal Cord Injury Recovery Center, and Twitter is stayinstep.org. And then my website is stayinstep.org.
There's another one. Do you want to do the one online?
Absolutely.
Okay. What do you think as a country we can do to end the stigma of 22 veterans committing suicide per day?
Listen to their stories. You know, I went to a workshop this past weekend in Chicago. My good friend who I served with for 16 years, well, I've known him for 16 years. We served together in Afghanistan. He was the operations officer. But when he found out I was wounded, he was there, been with me the whole time. He was our first chairman. He's a catalyst of my success, and went to a workshop about storytelling. And we talked to a veteran that he was in a bad place. You know, he wanted to commit suicide, and he went to dog kennel, and the runt of the litter kind of moved all the other dogs away, jumped in his lap, and he told me that he told us that that dog chose him, and that dog saved his life. And you know, Scott is a storyteller. You know, he tells stories and he empowers the veterans to tell their stories. So if one person listens to somebody's story and, you know, takes them under their arm or you know, befriends them, there's a lot that we can do as, you know, Americans and for anybody else that just may help a veteran. So it's just listen to people's stories. You know, they might be in a bad place and we don't know about it. But there's a video called The Restless Heart. It's on my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, but it's a real nice video that we have. It's on my Facebook page that we can pick it up, but it's listen to their story.
There's another one online.
Yeah, please.
Where do you think the disconnect is in providing our veterans with the help they need?
I always loved that one. Romy Camargo is Romy Camargo for, you know, what I do as myself. But we all have the responsibilities to go to our doctor's appointments, right? You know, if you get a doctor's appointment and you don't go to doctor's appointment, then you got to wait to get another doctor's appointment. So I think it's being proactive. I empower, you know, the vets that I know, that I talk to, and that are my friends. I encourage them to seek out their appointments. Go to your appointment, no matter what time is it. Go to your physical therapy appointments. You know, go get your flu shot. I mean, it's just a lot of things that we can do ourselves to make the system better. But I've seen the stories of the VA, you know, not doing what they're supposed to do. But I've also, you know, and I hate saying this, but in 1992, you know, Tampa General was hit pretty bad with a couple things that they did. You know, so I think for Romy Camargo, the VA has been 100% taking care of me just because I was there for my appointments. I was there for my physical therapy. I was there to get my flu shot. I was there to get my supplies. I was holding them accountable too as well. So I mean, I believe that's what. And if there, of course, there's going to be things that you don't like, but you know, as a person, we can change it. I had an appointment. I had a podiatry appointment, and they gave it to me 2 months. And I'm like, 2 months? That's all you got? And she's like, yeah, 2 months. She wouldn't even look at me, you know, in the computer. I was like, okay. So got up the next morning, about 1300, went to podiatry, sat there, and it's like, Romy Camargo, 1300, I'm here. No, you don't have an appointment. No, they called me yesterday and make sure not to miss my podiatry appointment. And then I looked around. It was 1300, so it was right after lunch, so you know nobody's gonna be coming. Looked around, I'm like, hey, you guys busy. She's like, yeah, we've been a couple busy. But I'm like, well, Romy Camargo, 1300. Then she's like, no, you don't have an appointment. And the podiatrist kind of came around. Oh, hey, Romy, what's up? Oh, no, I just came to my appointment. Oh, okay, I'll get you. Walked into a podiatry appointment. So I think just being proactive and, you know, trying to. Well, I didn't bully nobody, you know.
That's fantastic.
But, you know, every healthcare system, every insurance company, every, you know, big corporation is going to have their problems. So if we could, you know, if we could give a little faith, I believe, to the VA system and, you know, hold people accountable for things, I think the VA system can be a a better place, just like any other big corporation, any other major healthcare system, and also the insurance companies as well, because, you know, we're people and they owe us a service. So don't let them just say no and, you know, well, they said no, okay, no, hold them accountable. Got to get my money. My bad. It's the insurance companies.
Anyone else on the webcast?
No,
Got them all, okay. One last pass around the room. All right. Well, Romy, I really appreciate you coming out. We look forward to, as an employee resource group, continuing to partner with you in the future, Troy. With you guys, we really believe in the mission that you do, the work that you do, and just thank you very much for your time. So that's it from Lakeland. Thank you very much, and have a great day.